Did you watch my recent video, which was all about phrasal verbs, an introduction to phrasal verbs, and 4 tips on how to improve your phrasal verbs? Well, if you haven't watched it yet, I suggest you watch it now. Today's video is a request from Hassan Rabia, who wanted a video all about phrasal verbs for civil engineers. So this one is for you and anyone else who works or who would like to work in a similar field. Hi, my name is Cara and I'm an English teacher, not a civil engineer. I have a new lesson every Sunday on grammar, vocabulary, reading, writing, speaking, listening, pronunciation. And today's lesson is a grammar lesson, phrasal verbs for civil engineers. It's really important to learn vocabulary, including phrasal verbs, in context. So if there's somewhere that you go or something that you do every day or every week and you would like to know the vocabulary or the phrasal verb for this situation, please let me know by writing in the comments below. Now, most of the phrasal verbs today are for civil engineers, but the first few are useful for any workplace. Carry out. This means to do particular work or research. For example, we need to carry out some additional work. Draw up. Listen how the 2 words come together. Draw up. This means to prepare something in writing. The contract has been drawn up. Knock off. This means to stop work. Let's knock off at 5 o'clock. Run by. This means to tell someone about your idea or plan to get their opinion. You'll need to run it by the boss first. Take on. This means to accept work. Do you have enough time to take on another project? Call off. This means to cancel. They've called off the project. Alright, now let's be more specific with some phrasal verbs for civil engineers. Branch off. Branch off. This means to separate or diverge from the main route to form another route. For example, this road branches off from the main highway here. Build in. This means to incorporate as an integral, an important part of something else. For example, we can build in this feature if you want. Check over. To inspect for any faults or errors or defects. Make sure you check it over before you leave today. Cone off. This means to restrict access using cones like this. For example, I'll need you to cone off this area. Drain away. This means to remove or channel liquid away from something. For example, rainwater causes flooding when it can't drain away. Drive into. This means to force something into something else by hitting it. For example, these stakes will be driven into the ground. Eat away. This means to erode or corrode. For example, this harsh environment is going to eat away at this concrete over time. Fence off. This means to restrict access using some kind of barrier. For example, can you fence off this area here? Heap up. This means to make an untidy or unorganized pile of something. For example, you can heap up the scraps here. Jack up. This means to raise using some kind of hydraulic or mechanical device. For example, I had to jack up the car to change the tire. Knock up means to build quickly. It's only going to take a couple of days to knock it up. Pull down means to demolish or destroy something quite big. We'll have to pull it down before they start work. And last one, shore up. This means to strengthen by adding support. For example, we need to shore up these foundations. Well, I hope all of you civil engineers or nearly civil engineers can start to use some of these phrasal verbs at work or in your study. If you want to practice, if you want to test yourself and see if you can answer my questions about these phrasal verbs, go over to this website now, and there's plenty of exercises and flashcards there for you to practice. Thanks very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, to put a like, and to say hello in the comments below. I'll see you again next Sunday for another lesson. Bye!